welcome to the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Richard Mulrooney, soccer coach at the University of Memphis, talking signing day, and you've got 3 in. You'll have 1 more coming up, but we can only talk about the 3 you've got your paperwork on. But overall, Coach, coming off your first year as the head coach at the university, only needed a few guys to kind of supplement the roster this year. When it's all said and done, you'll have 4 signees. You've got 3 we're going to talk about today, but obviously you felt pretty good about what you had coming back. Didn't need a lot of turnover.
Absolutely. You know, I think there's a base to our group, a foundation that I can build upon. There were some areas of need that we needed to get depth at and or add competition to, and I think we've done that. And that's not to say there won't be more added to this class, but these 3 and hopefully the addition of the 4th later on today will be a much needed bonus and make this team much more competitive.
I guess being an assistant for the year than the head coach, you know these guys, you're familiar, you trust them, they trust you. A lot of times you see a coach in his first year, after that first year, make a lot of movements on the roster, but you've known these guys for a few years, you're comfortable with them.
Absolutely. I mean, I would say that some of the kids we brought in late last year I was a part of, Coach Grant was a part of as well. This class, we've been recruiting for a couple of years, Coach Sauceman, myself, and Coach Tony, so I would say completely in and out. This is my first team to come in, and I'm excited about it. I mean, I've gotten to know these kids since some of them, you know, juniors in high school, and we've kept that relationship. And for them to give faith in coming into our school, I'm excited about the future of the program and for their futures as well.
All right, let's talk about the 3 you've got in right now. Let's start off with Josh Burnett out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Yes, Josh comes to us from St. Louis Scott Gallagher, an academy club there. Josh, I saw him play for the first time back in Florida a couple years ago, and right when I saw him, I knew he'd be a perfect fit here. Plays a center back or can play defensive midfielder. He's a physical presence, got good size to him, and with that, he's got very good feet. I think it's deceptive because the ball comes to him, and I think other players think he's not going to be so good on the ball, and he's very good technically, so he can get out of trouble. He has that physical presence, and he's got a winning attitude. And not only that, I've got to know him as a character. Great off the field, his family's wonderful, and he's just going to be a very big addition for us, whether it be on the back line or in the midfield this coming year.
How key was it for you, especially this first year, to get a St. Louis kid? We know what kind of soccer that area produces. To get your foot in there, even just getting 1 player to lead to maybe future signings down the road.
It's huge. I mean, it's absolutely huge for the location of it, for the type of soccer player that they have. You know, I know Coach in the past had gotten players that came through St. Louis or whatever, but that's a place we want to continually get people year in and year out, whether it be in Missouri or Kansas City or somewhere in that area. It's an area that we recruit hard, and I'm happy to say Josh committed to us.
Another big area for soccer is the Dallas area, and you've got a Dallas, Texas signee, Julio Vargas.
Yeah, he comes from Solar, Chelsea, out of Dallas. That's an academy there as well. He's a forward. He's about 6 feet. He's a thicker, well-fit kid, but he can hold the ball up. He can also play the attacking mid. He's just got a good soccer IQ. I mean, he's a good passer of the ball. He adds something to our team that he just, when the ball comes to him, he knows what to do with it. And it's not always just go straight to goal. Sometimes it's possession-wise. He's just got, like I said, got a real soccer IQ of the game, and he'll obviously be able to compete for a spot up top.
You move out east, Raleigh, North Carolina, you bring in David Adams.
Yes, David is a player that can play anywhere in the midfield. I see him on the outsides more, very athletic, sort of a relentless type of player. Can work all day, he's got a feistiness to him, but at the same time, again, a good soccer player that if I put him out wide, he can take people a one-on-one, get crosses off. His defense is good, and the fact that he's hard to beat one-on-one. He's just, again, another player that I can bring in that if we need a spot to be filled or if he grabs a starting spot, I've got all the confidence in the world. I mean, he's just going to get better and better as time goes on.
Coach, that's the 3 you've got your paperwork in. You're still waiting on 1 more, but as a group of the 3 we've talked about and the 4 you're going to have total, what were you looking for this year? Was there a specific need that you needed to get signed, or were you looking for the best athletes to kind of supplement the roster right now?
A little mixture of both. I mean, I think there were spots on our team that we needed, like I said, looking for someone to start. I mean, we lost, Benji was a starting right back last year. We lost Falker, who was a starting forward. You know, we lost Will on the starting right side. So there's spots that need to be filled, and whether that's through the players that we already have now, those are open spots, or these players that are coming in. You know, as I always say, the best 11 players are going to be starting for me, and this group just makes us that much deeper and more competitive in the fact that, you know, we're not happy that we finished 5th in conference. We want to win the conference. We don't want to just make the quarterfinals of our conference. We want to win the conference championship. And to top that off, we want to make the NCAA tournament, and these players give us a better chance to do that.
Going forward now, when you get outside in spring practice, going forward to summer and then the fall season, what are your expectations for this team? Because even fifth in the league, very solid league, a lot of one-goal games. It wasn't like you finished fifth and you were losing 2, 3-goal games and just weren't able to compete. That league was pretty balanced.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I feel as though moving forward, with the experience that we got, a bunch of freshmen and sophomores this past year, they're going to be sophomores and juniors, and the freshmen coming in, I think we have a good foundation to build upon. I think we're familiar with the competition that we just played this past year. I mean, I know as a staff it was our first year in control, so we're going to be that much more, I would say, educated about the league and how things run. Not saying we didn't know the game, but just you put all that together from past experience and you become smarter from it. And I feel our players are going to do the same thing with the addition of these freshmen along others that we're going to sign as the days go on, in addition to the players that we have. I mean, this, like I said, as I told you last year, the sky's the limit. I don't think finishing first is out of realm. We have a lot of work to do, but we're not too far off. I mean, the teams that finished in front of us, we didn't get blown out of the water by them, and in fact, some of the games I thought we probably could have gotten a result. But you're judged on wins and losses. We finished fifth, and we lost in the quarters, and we need to improve upon that. And I think with this group coming in, along with spring and summer workouts, I think we'll become the team that we need to and be very competitive this fall.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Head Coach Richard Mulrooney, men's soccer coach at the University of Memphis. I'm Jeff Brightwell on the Memphis Tiger Network.